Hey, this is Russ Braun, comic artist extraordinaire, here with 11 O'Clock Comics.
It's 11 O'Clock Comics, episode 1013, and I am Vince B.
Damn right you're Vince B. I am David A. Price.
That is facts, and of course I'm Scrappy Doo.
Oh, God.
All the nights.
Seriously. He probably likes Scrappy Doo.
He does. That's when he
Scrappy
says
Doo.
that was Scooby's golden era right there, was when Scrappy showed up.
13
my-
cups of Scooby Doo is. I was just bidding on some animation cells this week.
Oh,
I heard.
stop.
Him and his
Are
Joe
you
Sweet.
serious?
I was, yes.
Now, I could take the Joe. I could even take the mask. When you've been at Scrappy Doo, I'm sorry.
Oh, I love
Listen, don't be hating on my birthday week. It's my birthday week. You can't hate.
I'm not hating. I never hate.
it. Good Lord.
Scrappy Dappy Doo.
You are not Scrappy.
I'm not a fan of Scrappy Doo. No.
None other than Jason Wood. Hi, Vince.
Hi.
What up?
I
Great
feel
to hear.
good. I'm here for the whole episode, whether the listener likes it or not.
Love it.
And I'm drinking.
Whoa, what?
Yeah. They said it's okay for me to drink.
That's
So,
all I needed. Doctor's orders then.
But okay, there you go.
I didn't hear a thing you said.
My bad.
Our bad. Go ahead. What are you drinking?
I'm drinking Double Troll. I told you it was my go-to, and I meant it. I love this wine. It's Gab. It's I think it's bottled by Charles and Charles. The bottle's over there, and I love the taste of it. And it's cheap. It's like $15.
Now you're speaking Jason's language.
Respect.
Yeah,
Respect.
it doesn't have a number though.
What is
Yeah,
that?
no, he won't drink it. It's swell. As I was perusing the stacks, I came by the apothec, and I heard just Jason's voice in my head. And I came by the Snoop
19
Dogg.
Crimes? Yes. Yep. The 19 Crimes. Yep.
19 Crimes, and I really heard Jason's swell voice in my head, so I passed by them very quickly.
Good man. Good man.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
I'm proud of you.
Lord. What about you, Jason?
Proud of you. I am drinking a delightful red blend, a Paso Robles red blend. It's a 2020 Turtle Rock red
Oh.
blend.
Yeah,
It's very, very nice. It's a very, very like winter forward. Like it's got a ton of like chocolate, it's got that sort of like almost like bitterness to it, which I love in red wine. So
Is it me? It's probably me. I don't taste those things. When they say it's got nutmeg or it's got ginger or it has chocolate or coffee, the coffee I taste. The other ones I don't taste them. It's probably my palate.
he's back. Yeah, I'd say it's your palate. It's probably not dissimilar to why
that's
you
the
don't
irony.
love food in the way that we do. Like in the way that, you know what I mean? Like you don't.
Yeah, and it's probably due to the fact that I love spicy food
Right.
because I could taste it.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I have a dead palate.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Wow. Okay.
Maybe did your palate change after you got the big C like the first
No.
time? No. Okay.
No, I got the only thing that changed, and I've said this before. and I hope it doesn't come through on the show, is I've gotten meaner.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, I've gotten very mean.
fortunately, you were such a sweetheart going into this that there was some room to give.
There was some wiggle room, but I know after the fact, I apologize, and that's not me.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, and did you know, Depp, that my Discord will not work if the VPN is enabled?
Interesting.
Wow. What if you have the VPN enabled
Yeah.
first and then start Discord?
That's what I did, and
Wow.
it didn't work. And then I shut it off, and Discord worked. So it could be coincidence, but I don't think so.
No. Okay. That's interesting,
Yeah.
especially since Discord's like a
It's-
gaming
yeah.
server and whatnot. That's weird.
It's weird. It just could be mint. It could be a
Okay.
thing with the.
You know what? I'm gonna try that.
link.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna start my VPN. Not tonight. I'll fire up my VPN later and then see what happens with Discord. But yeah, all right, yeah. I mean, I can try on both machines and then we'll determine if that's a Linux issue. I had something
And
up with my headphones. I couldn't hear either of you for a little while.
You did the super scientific thing, right?
I did. Turned it off.
Yeah.
Turned it back on.
Yeah. Turn it off. Turn it back on.
I am because I know everybody's waiting for this. I was gifted a bottle yesterday. It is a Kentucky Sour Mash Whiskey, Shanks Homestead. It's a 2025 release. According to Mario, it's really, really good. According to my guy who gave it to me, the dude at the shop had to get it from the nice cabinet, and I read the back of the label, and I was happy to find out that John Shank founded a distillery that was to become Michter's, and if there's one whiskey I like, it's Michter's. So this is so I'm having this for the first time. Just popped it open for this episode, so we'll see how it treats me.
Do you pay for anything?
Yes. I pay for way too much shit. Actually, I just bought some shit before I came upstairs. So yes, I do pay for things. Damn it.
Damn it. Jason had a game. Another one. I think it was Jason. Or was it Dap? No, it was Dap.
Actually, it was
Dap.
the listeners originally.
Well, but Dap's been the baton. He
I
grabbed the
guess I
baton
have.
from the listeners, has been keeping it going, which is good because I feel like it is well received every time we do it. So
And although one of the early time, either if not the first time, maybe the second time we threw it back and forth. There was the comment that this might not be a game that, depending on the topic, Vince, you might not be too enthusiastic to play. But again, that would always depend on the theme. But this week, tonight, you kicked it off by picking the first theme, and we're talking, of course, about our OUFL overrated, underrated, favorite, least favorite, which we've done a few times, as we said. We always have fun with this. Full disclosure: we're recording this on a Tuesday night, so the new comics haven't shipped to us yet. So we're kind of calling an audible by not being able to talk about this week's releases. So, Vince, would you like to kick it off?
Sure. So, humor me. O is overrated.
yes,
Yep.
U is underrated.
Yep.
F is favorite, and
Yep.
L is least favorite.
Yes.
Okay. Then I am on the ball. It's no secret that I've been reading more DC than ever. Number one, because they're good.
facts.
Yep.
Yeah. Two, because they speak to me on some level that the Marvel books are not doing, and haven't.
Yeah, it's called quality.
Yeah, they haven't done for a long time.
Yes.
This is there's no doubt about it. This is a hot take. I went with DC Comics, and my overrated is a hot take because I think that it's very, very easy to write a good story featuring this character. There's tons and tons of good stories by good writers. The monthly, the specials, the Elseworlds, they seem the origin of the character, which I think is one of the best origin stories ever. The origin story is so, if you pardon the phrase, bulletproof, that it was built in to the character's DNA at the get-go. So it's easy. I shouldn't say it's easy. It's relatively easy to write a good story featuring this character. It's difficult, extremely difficult, to write a great story featuring this character. And there is a good number of great stories. I would say the best stories the medium has produced, mainstream, featuring this character. It's an oxymoron. He's easy to write, but getting magnificence is tough. And my overrated DC character is Batman.
There are people.
That would be hot.
Hassan is having a brain hemorrhage right now.
It's like somebody who's the surface of the force.
I think what you said makes perfect sense. I think you said
for sure.
There's tons of good Batman stories literally every month. And because the character is just so innately awesome, from like everything about him is awesome. But
the origin story is number 2 on my list of all-time great origin stories.
Spider-Man being first?
No.
Superman?
You're burying the lead.
Oh, okay.
I think Batman is overrated. For every Dark Knight Returns, there's a good 1,000 good Batman stories.
Yeah,
that are just that scratch the itch. But do you really need to read them?
I think
is there supposed to be 10,000 Bat books a month? No, it's like Spider-Man. Peter is a great character. I know I'm in the minority here, but Gwen is not. She's a good character. She's not a great character. And same thing with Clark. He's a great character. Is Lois a great character? She's a good character. Yeah. But it's tough to do this without revealing my underrated favorite, least favorite. But okay. I think Batman is overrated. And it's Gotham by Gaslight was one issue.
Yeah.
And now they're doing a 6-issue limit series.
The whole universe out.
What they've done in one issue, it takes 6 issues now to do it. And it's ridiculous.
I think a really, really solid representation of good and great and mediocre Batman stories is the Legends of the Dark Knight series, because you'd have Venom one month, and then you'd have Faith the next month. You'd have Matt Wagner's story, and then you'd have the one by drawn by Bart. So it's like you can have really, really great Batman stories, and then you can have the rest. So it's not.
Back when Dennis was good.
Yeah, there's that. I know. I mean, I'm still a fan, but I know what you're saying. I hear you. No, I know. But I mean, we can say that about pretty much almost everybody except Brian Boland. I don't know too many artists who have stayed consistent Who?
Jurgens. They said consistent.
He's a little different than he
Todd
was on
Knock
Booster
got
Gold.
better.
Todd Knock definitely got better. Yeah, I mean, we
I'm
can look at artists have definitely gotten better.
Look at Todd Knock. Wait, what?
I know we're going way off. We're going the tangents galore.
You
here.
don't
This is
like
great. This
Todd Knock?
is
No,
Rob-
I do,
Rob-
but like we were talking
we
about
go
like,
from there to
crazy
here.
if they stay great. Like Todd Knock is a nice little artist. He's had a good career, but I mean, like
Vince is back, baby.
I think he's-
So, are we going to do? Are we each going to go through
That's
ours,
my-
or are we going to have?
Yeah, that's my overrated is Batman.
yeah, we'll go to you, Dap. Go do your DC overrated.
My overrated only because I'm thinking of right now, and I didn't want to, and I knew who Vince's was, so I didn't want to pile on. My overrated as of right now is Darkseid.
That's really good. I didn't
That's
think
a good one.
it didn't even
Yeah.
occur to me, but that's actually probably a better enter. Yeah, that's great. Yeah,
I
was gonna-
completely agree with
yeah.
that.
Yep, that's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude is all over the place.
Too much.
Whether you wanted to be or
Still
not.
too much.
Darkseid is supposed to be number one, infallible. Number two,
Yeah.
he only comes out when he's ready. And now he's everywhere.
I know Darkseid is and everything, but like,
Yeah.
can he be on vacation? Can he be on vacation?
Yeah.
Can
A
be,
few
can be,
months.
can be Darkseid
years.
pause.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's fair. Well, again, my overrated is probably going to be no surprise to anyone, and I still love you, Boo. I'm not trying to throw daggers, but it's Superman. But again, I'm not like
I know.
this shouldn't be a surprise. I mean,
No, it's not. It really is.
it would be disingenuous for me not to pick Superman, right? And again, I am reading the current Superman ongoing happily. There have been, to my mind, many great Superman stories. So it's not like, it's just that kind of like with what Vince was saying, like Superman is so ubiquitous, and I just have always struggled, kind of actually very similar to what Vince was saying about Batman. I think because of the nature of Superman essentially being a god, and also morally completely infallible, it is, to me, in the wrong hands, he comes off as boring to me because there's nothing he can't do, and all they do is they craft his power set to fit whatever the challenge is, and he's going to win, and he's never going to make a mistake, and that's ultimately why he's probably so popular for so many, including you, Dap, because he is sort of like perfect and virtuous, and I get that, but I guess as someone who's always been more drawn to anti-heroes and the grayness of morality when it comes to characters, Superman is rarely portrayed that way, and so for me, he's my most overrated. But again, I fully acknowledge that is a minority opinion. I get it.
Yeah.
And we will definitely. This is a conversation we can definitely have later on, another day. But I'm of the firm belief that, and nothing's been able to sway this for me yet, that because you grew up a Marvel zombie.
Absolutely. Yep. Oh, absolutely. Oh, 100%. Oh no, that's a huge part of it. Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
You were born too late.
In fact, not to get too far in advance of this, but this trio of categories we're doing tonight was fascinating for me because what you just said, Dap, is the centerpiece of the process for me being weird this time. Because on one hand, we're doing DC. One of the other categories is Marvel. We'll tell it in a second. But because of spending 20 years reading mostly Marvel and almost no DC, the Marvel category for me was super hard because I have huge love, genuine love for almost everybody that I could have chosen in any of those categories, right? So I had to nitpick. Whereas DC, I realized doing this today that even though I've been reading a good chunk, if not the majority of DC output for now almost 20 years, I don't really have favorites. Like I have no like sacred altars, like there's no one in DC that I feel is sacred to me. That I feel has to be portrayed a certain way or can't be portrayed a certain way, or that's just not probably in my DNA because I didn't really start reading the universe until I was in my 30s, and that's, I think, so that was a very, I think, astute observation, but that played a huge role in this set being hard for me to do. and then the Marvel set being hard for me to do it for completely the other reason, which is that I love every one of them. So, yeah.
I think that hit the nail on the head. You were born too late.
That's the price
Say
I pay
all
for
that,
being young
but
and
yes.
beautiful.
Yeah, well, you're young. Yeah.
Let's keep the party going. Facts. Who is your underrated DC character?
My underrated DC character, I think, should be outselling the benchmark Batman for, well, it was Diamond.
Nice Wonder Woman?
No, Superman. Superman. Let the record show that this is the rare times when Jason is wrong.
Well, I would have
Superman-
guessed that you would have picked Batman and Superman for these two categories for the record.
Yeah, the underrated is Superman. I think it's the greatest origin story of mainstream comics. Period. I struggled
first,
with this. It's either Superman or Spider-Man. Number one, whether the writers intended it or not, Smallville should be racist. It should be, because it's the South. Just humor at me. It's the South. It's he came to Earth in the early 30s, in the late 30s. It should be. The fact that Martha and Jonathan were not racist was a masterstroke, because they should be, but they weren't. And I think the origin story has everything to do with how he was raised, and that comes to Jonathan and Martha. He could be a racist. The slime ball, the over arcing effects on the DC universe would be irreparable. Superman would not be as popular as he is now if he was racist.
For sure, yes.
Yeah, it just goes to show. And the fact that the origin story was written the way it was is perfect. There's nothing I would change. The Spider Peter Parker is kind of hokey, but it fits the character. But the Superman is perfect. The Batman one is number 3 because he's human. Superman is a god. He could do anything he wants. He could move a planet by pushing on it, but he doesn't. Because he was raised by non-racist, God-fearing people, and he is the guy who will stop whatever he's doing and spray Bactine on a skinned knee, and then continue to do what he wants to do. I can't say it's the same about Bruce Wayne. Yeah, the origin story is good, great even, but Bruce Wayne doesn't have what Kal-El has.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. If I had my druthers and I was EIC of DC, Superman would be outselling Batman 10-1.
Yep.
Right. Yeah,
It should. It should be.
I know you hate when I bring up business stuff, so I didn't bring it up. But one of the reasons he's my overrated is because for a character that's arguably the most iconic superhero in the history of the medium, he has never sold well, like ever.
No.
Which I think speaks a bit to relative. I'm saying relatively speaking.
Right.
And so it's like that to me says something, because again, it's all of us that were reading these characters for decades, right? So like he was never the favorite of the comics.
Yeah.
readers.
The Superman family is infinitely more exciting than the Batman family.
Sure.
But I would argue that even the least selling Bat book rivals. I'm not saying that it oversells, but it at least rivals the the Superman titles. And there's 10,000 Batman titles, and there's what, so 6, 7 Superman titles.
Yeah.
I'm probably overestimating, but it's just wrong. It's wrong on every level that Batman oversells Superman. But
Speak on it.
here we are. Here we
There
are.
you are. Dap, do you agree, or is you have someone else for underrated?
Oh no, my underrated is definitely not Superman. My underrated is this is weird because there were a few I could have picked. I was even like trying to go through who's who and see who comes to mind immediately. But one I kept coming back to was almost immediately the first one I thought of, and that's strangely enough Dr. Fate.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah,
Respect.
yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
It's not the first and the last time you'll be hearing that name. This
Nice.
There we go. All right. No, I respect that. Any elaboration, or just you
No,
think he's underused?
Because I'm going through the I'm reading the first trade of the Christ and Infinite Earths Part 1, and of course the early issues, the 50, 51, a couple of issues of All Star Squadron are in this collection, and this is back when Kent Nelson didn't want to be overtaken by the spirit, so the helmet is kind of cut in half, so you can see the lower half of his face. But beyond that,
Yeah.
I dig the look of the helmet. But yeah, I think the whole the connection with him and his wife for a time. But you had that great Keith Giffen miniseries in the late '80s, early '90s, and
so good.
yeah, he doesn't. For me, I feel similar to the way Scarlet Witch was used for so many years. His power set is just kind of misunderstood. Like no one really is sure what exactly he can do or what he can do, but he's one of those characters that, similar to like maybe Phantom Strange or even Etrigan to a degree, like it's just, oh, okay, we need somebody, we can't use Constantine, so we're just gonna get somebody else who's magic like, and that's where he shows up. I know Lemire is using the newer version in his JSA book. And I'm warming up to that kid, but I mean the version I'm talking about is the Kent Nelson version,
Right?
But yeah, it's just he's just a character that I don't think has ever really had a chance to shine the way so many other third string DC heroes have, or DC characters have.
Turned to a woman at one time.
Yep.
How could you just say, you can't say the same thing for 99.9% of the DC characters or Marvel?
Yeah, it's true. I was kind of with that, but I dug a little bit more into the crates on this one because I was trying to pick someone that wasn't like an icon, and it was I just kept coming back to Zatanna. I love that character, and I feel like I've never read a Zatanna comic that I didn't enjoy. And we get like 1 or 2 a year. She's either in a team or or she, like, we got the cool mini recently from the Black Label. But generally speaking, she's not oft used, and I just feel like she's attractive, right? She's like a little sexy, but not like in like a over the top way. I think she's cool. She's obviously super powerful. I for some reason sometimes I hate like gimmickry, but I like with comic books where word balloons are just a prerequisite. I like the idea of her gimmick being that she says things backwards, because again, that's something that like a letterer actually has to work at for and do something a little bit for a change. Yeah, so I'm with it, man. Like I think that I would love to see Zatanna more prominently featured on the regular in like one of the big team books. I mean, not that she hasn't been over the years, but just for me, of all the characters I was running through my head this week, that the one I kept coming back to that I can't really think of a time I haven't enjoyed her and feel like I don't get her enough is Zatanna.
Just to get back to Dap for a second, in the All-Star archives, which I'm currently reading,
Yes.
Dr. Fate, his helmet vacillates between exposed lower portion, depending on where you are in the run. Towards the end, it's full face mask, so it's not a new thing.
No, it's not.
But
No.
it's very off-putting to
Yeah.
see his lower face. Yeah,
I mean, how many helmets does he have? It's weird. I always thought there was just the one helmet.
seriously. And he was a girl. I would
Yep.
look in the mirror and I would never do anything. My favorite is Superman.
I love it.
Yeah. I struggled. Batman would never be my favorite. I struggled with Superman or Spider-Man, and I love both of the characters almost equally. But I think the origin story for Spider-Man is slightly wonky. He's bitten by a radioactive spider,
Yeah.
so he gets the. But it's weird. It's weird, but it's not. It's more believable to think that a character can be under a different a different type of star, and gain powers. That makes sense
Yes.
to me. So my favorite is Superman. He is my
Okay.
favorite mainstream character by just as much, but he is my favorite.
Okay.
I can't I can't argue that. It's just like there was no surprise at Jason's overrated character. There should be no surprise to my favorite. There was no. That was the first entry I filled out when Vince gave us the theme. There was no other way. I mean, as much as I love Lobo. There are so many other DC characters. I mean, Dick Grayson, just Dick Grayson. Not even not Nightwing, not Robin. Just I mean, there are characters I could have picked. A long list. Is it Hal Jordan? But no, it starts and ends with Superman. And yes, there are. It is he is the one that everybody looks up to. He's the character that he makes you want to be a better person. Whether you're another comic book character in the Justice League or you're a comic book reader, like there's something about Superman that just and which is why it's funny as I'm not to go into another tangent. As I'm reading DCKO and everybody's fighting for what they want their version of the world to be if they win this fucking tournament, all everybody keeps telling Clark is, you just want it to be the same. You want it.
Yeah.
You want to win, so you can just put everything back the way it is. And it does. In Clark's mind, there's nothing wrong with that because again, even though you have so many powered beings that could stop wars and cure hunger and make sure everybody is safe and sound, like Superman is just like, I am not God. You need to figure this shit out yourself. I'm here to help, but I'm not here to solve your problems. And the fact that a character like that exists, even though he can do anything and still wants people to be the best themselves, that goes a long way with me.
Not surprised, like you said. That was an easy one to guess.
'Cause he's right.
There you go. You heard it here first. Again, I'm probably gonna kind of knock you on your asses with this one. You're gonna see this coming, but it kept coming back to it, so I'm going with it. Black Canary.
I like it.
No.
Bro, relax.
He's got a box. He's an easy mark for fishnets.
Yes.
Yeah,
there's
no, it's
nothing
true.
wrong
No,
with that.
that is true. I guess I have a fishnet fetish.
Yes.
But no, I just go back to like all the books that I enjoy, and I can't think of a time like I've read all the Birds of Prey runs and enjoyed it. I love when she's a member of one of the big teams. Anytime I've read Green Arrow, which I've read pretty most of the last 20 years runs, I always find it much better when she's part and parcel with him. I think she's one of the centerpieces of the DCU over the last few decades, and I just dig her again. But to be clear, getting back to what I was saying earlier, like I don't really have any like tentpole cornerstones in DC. There's a lot of characters I really like, but there's no one that I'm like. There's nobody that I'm like madly and like. There's no ride or die for me in the DC world.
Yeah.
So like as I kind of cleared my mind, I thought, well, what characters do I just genuinely enjoy? I mean, I almost went with Harley Quinn, but like it felt wrong to do it because there was probably like a 15-year period where I read her and loved her, but I honestly haven't read a Harley Quinn comic proper in like 5 years. I mean, I
It's
just
still
have.
good. Yeah.
No, right, but I do keep reading Black Canary, and anytime I see her in a book, I'm gonna pick it up. I would characterize my choice here as like there were a bunch of people running a race, and she won, by leaning in and breaking the tape. Like it's not like she's way out in front, and it's like it was an easy pick. I just thought I thought about her, and there were a handful of others, but ultimately I'm giving her the nod for conversation's sake.
It's either her or Geo4, so we went with her.
Yeah. An origin story as convoluted as
Oh God, yes.
Hawkman.
Oh, yeah.
Like the Birds of Prey, the early issues that I think Bennett drew them.
Yep.
Who is that? Is it Diana? Is it Dinah?
Dinah,
Is
yeah.
it her daughter? It doesn't make sense to me. But yes, there's something about the fishnets that I do
Yeah.
like. Black Canary, I do.
My man.
Yeah, especially with Green Arrow.
Especially with Ollie, yeah.
Yeah, my least favorite came from my recent reread of 52.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I never I shouldn't say this. I tolerated the character, but there was never like, oh, damn, so and so's in this issue. I need to pick it up, even though I'm not in the ongoing. Booster Gold is my least favorite DC.
Wow, that is a strong take. Like that's a lot of hate.
It is
of
a lot
all
of
the
hate.
DC characters, it's Booster Gold.
But he doesn't deserve the accolades. He hasn't earned them.
No, I agree with you there. I
Yeah.
still, I mean,
He steals.
he gambled on his
information
own
from the future.
games.
Yeah.
He had to settle for a job as doing cleanup work at fucking the Future Museum, and he steals his way
He's
to the
a
21st
janitor.
century. And he
There's
steals to
nothing
come
wrong
back
with
in
being-
time to try to make something of himself.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with being a janitor.
Nope.
It's a good profession, but to ascend to a close to favorite or favorite, no. Booster Gold, he's just no. He's my least favorite. I had a lot to beg from, but
true.
I listed them, and the Booster was the only one who doesn't deserve the accolades. He's especially in 52. It's like, oh wow, it's Booster. So what? So what? Superman's not around. Batman's not around. We're going with Booster? No.
His claim to fame is he's Blue Beetle's friend.
I would take Blue Beetle over Booster 1,000 times.
Every day and twice
Every
on
day.
Sunday. There's no,
Yep.
yeah. I didn't even think of Damian Wayne when I thought of my least favorite, but he
Oh, I
wasn't
thought that
Robin
was it
at
for
one
sure.
point. No, it's my least favorite is Jason Todd.
Wow.
Even back, even when he first showed up, and his origin was pretty much a carbon copy of Dick Grayson's, where his parents, it wasn't a circus, I think it was a carnival. I don't know if they were acrobats, but he was, and Killer Croc killed his parents as opposed to the mob, and so, but again, Batman took him under his wing, and he was fine until the Crisis, and then after that, they turned him into some street rat little wannabe hood, and he thought he was going to rip off, he was going to take the rims off, the hubcaps off the Batmobile.
Right.
And he just, it was the worst. So they completely neutered the character, and just it wasn't what he was. He was a horrible sidekick, I felt. And at that point, like I said, if were I able to, I would have been one of the people who called in to have him killed. Happy he was dead. Wasn't thrilled he came back, which is another reason why I dislike Superboy Prime, which probably could have been also my least favorite. It's
He's a whiner.
He's massive fucking whiner. Thought he was Norrin Rad. So you've got there's just yeah. I don't like Jason, and then he comes back as the Red Hood, and which so. And while yes, I did read that first issue of the short-lived Red Hood series, which was fun, and I surprised myself by enjoying it. But yeah, he is just not a character I'm a fan of. And I didn't want to go with the low-hanging fruit of like Per Degaton, so I was just like, let me just pick some guys actually
right.
doing something.
Per Degaton.
Yes.
Produced some great crossovers, but I'm not surprised that Jason Todd is your least favorite, because it comes from a time when DC was trying everything, and some of it worked, some of it didn't work.
Yep.
Jason was one of the things that didn't work.
Although I am thankful for Jason Todd, because once he was gone, we were able to get Tim Drake, who is the best Robin.
Yeah. No.
Mm-hmm. You can enjoy Damian all you want, but he's not the best Robin.
No, Dick.
No, Dick was great, and he's the first Robin. There's no doubt about it. He made the blueprint, but at this point he's been Nightwing longer than he's been Robin, and he's a fantastic Nightwing. I can rarely see him as Robin these days, or think of him.
He was
Robin.
in the hunt for me for my favorite character. So yeah,
He's a good character.
My least favorite should be no surprise. If I see this character in a book, I'm closing the book and not finishing the story.
Oh,
it's Demon Etrigan. I cannot.
I know.
I fucking think it's the corniest thing. I think the design is whack. I think the idea that he rhymes is so dumb. It annoys the shit out of me. I can't even acknowledge the Nation of Jasons, because obviously his alter ego is named Jason. I can't. It's the worst Jason ever to exist, and there aren't that many. I want none of it. And if I ever was EIC, to go back to what Vince was saying earlier, my first decree would be that Demon Etrigan is erased from the books. So he can go and hang out at like Vault or something. I don't know.
Not once, but twice he was wrong this episode.
No, we're just getting started.
Seriously. What's going to happen?
All right, so to recap, Vince's OUFL for DC was Batman, Superman. He double dipped on the underrated and the favorite. We'll allow it. And least favorite was Booster Gold. DAP was Darkseid, Dr. Fate, Superman, and Jason Todd. Surprising no one. Well, the Darkseid was a deep cut, and I liked it. Didn't see that coming. And then mine was Superman, Zatanna, Black Canary, and Whack Ass Etrigan. So yeah, so there you go.
I love how you slid the whack ass in there.
You had to.
All right, so up next is our OUFL for intercompany crossovers. This was Dap's idea. And at first I was like, well, how many fucking have there been? Like,
there have been a lot.
But then I was like,
yeah.
There's been so many. And my high level, before we get into it, my high level conclusion on this is that I'm generally not a fan of intercompany crossovers. I think the vast majority have been either forgettable or bad. So yeah. So your mileage may vary, but I think most have felt more like money grabs than
Oh yeah,
great
yeah.
comics.
I mean, as fun as they might be in concept or in theory, and you're like, oh snap, I can't believe these two actors are going to meet. But by the time you actually read the story, it's either
Totally.
it's either a whiff on how they meet, on how, because how do you not always bump into each other? So you got to do the whole interdimensional thing. But yeah, it's just and then at the end of the day, you all walk away, and rarely, twice I can recall that, although it was retconned later in the Spawn universe, but twice I can recall the effects in the crossover between two companies actually mattered and existed post crossover later on in the universe.
Yeah, but that was
rare.
because of legal things.
Oh, for sure. On the Spawn side, yeah. Busiek was smart enough to use what he did in the JLA Avengers crossover in his Justice League run, but Yeah, some of them just do not. They're cool to see, especially depending on the creative team. But as far as anything lasting or meaningful, it's just it's just a neat little item. Lightning in the bottle once, and that's it.
But you have to admit, it's kind of like the Batman. There's never been I shouldn't say that. Rarely, there's been a bad intercompany crossover.
Oh, I totally disagree. I think the vast majority have been terrible. I think literally like 85% of them, as I was looking at the list, have been terrible.
Wow.
So, totally opposite ends of the spectrum on this.
Yeah, I pulled something from everyone unique. There are a few that I don't like at all, and you will hear about one of them. But for the most part, it's kind of cool that DC and Marvel get together infrequently and put their heroes together. It's neat.
For the record, I didn't stick to just DC and Marvel crossovers.
No, I didn't either. Yeah, no,
I did.
I said intercompany because it could be any publisher. But yeah, I mean, looking at my list, except for maybe 1.5, they are between the big two. But intercompany crossovers, my overrated was, it could have been either one, but it is the Batman Spawn War Devil, because it took 3 writers to tell this tale. It's Munch, it's Dixon, and it's Alan Grant, and illustrated by Klaus Jensen. The Spawn Batman one is the one written by Frank Miller and illustrated by McFarlane. But yeah, this one I remember it. I just remember, holy crap, DC and Image, Batman and Spawn are going to meet. It's the 2 biggest characters from both companies, and it was just it was a whiff for me.
No disagreement there. I don't know how everyone's going to feel about this, but this was an easy choice for me. For me, most overrated intercompany crossover was Amalgam.
Wow.
I think Amalgam was 99% whack across the board. It's and then none of them have aged well. It's late 90s art, like
it is.
It's big. It's that 90s like art we all now look back and cringe upon. As a Marvel guy, I thought it was corny, like merging these characters together. Like it's
Dr.
like
Strange Fate? Come on.
Sometimes chocolate and peanut butter make great, but like sometimes you don't want to. Like I love tuna and I love chocolate, and I don't miss chocolate and tuna. Just no time at all for Amalgam. No nostalgia for it, and actively disliked it as it was coming out as I was reading it. So. I'm sure a lot of people love Amalgam. I'm sure. Believe me, I understand. Which is why I said it's overrated.
My overrated. People love this misuse. The title changed depending on who published what. It's nuts because Dan Jurgens did the pencils, and I love Dan Jurgens. But it was the cover of the first issue that really got me, where yes, Aquaman is mirrored by Namor, makes sense. Flash is mirrored by Quicksilver, again, makes sense. The Captain Marvel, aka Shazam, is mirrored by Thor. I'll allow it, but to put Wolverine and Lobo front and center, I am talking about DC versus Marvel Comics. I thought it, and Superman should be front and center, number one. Number two, the Pantheon Hulk is Superman's mirror image? What? It doesn't make sense. Diana is mirrored by Storm?
There you go. There's your first.
What?
There we go.
There's the story.
Captain America and Batman are perfect because Steve is borderline. He is enhanced, but he's a master tactician, and so's Batman. So's Bruce. Where I'll allow it. But for the most part, I thought that this miniseries was whack. Yeah, I did get again. I did get a requisite. That's kind of cool because Jurgen Strutt. But to have Wolverine and Lobo front and center, what?
Yeah. Because it was the '90s. It was the two biggest, the two biggest
That's
anti-heroes.
exactly right. That's why they did it because they sold like crazy, and it makes perfect sense. But I would put Clark front and center. Um, I don't know who I would. Maybe Captain America. Maybe because Steve inspires confidence. Same as Kal, but not Lobo and Wolverine. No, no. DC versus Marvel. Marvel versus DC. I thought it was whack.
Okay. No.
Yeah, there are people that love it.
Yeah, but there were more. I'm pretty sure there were more misses than hits in that whole.
Nah, you're right on that one.
And it doesn't. It's Spider-Man and Robin. What? It doesn't make sense. It's Robin and.
But wasn't that Ben at that point? Wasn't Ben Spider-Man?
Yes. But still,
probably treat him like a sidekick.
Yeah, Jubilee and Tim
Drake. Yeah. Oh, they both wear yellow with the raincoat.
Yeah, that's it. They both wear yellow.
Great connection. Underrated. There were a couple that I was thumbing through. Some that I just wanted to mention, even though they're not underrated, just so that I can mention them. But that's not fair. So I ended up going with between Image and Dark Horse Comics, the Legend imprint, Gen 13, and Monkey Man and O'Brien.
Gen 13,
Nobody knows about it, which is why it's
O'Brien.
underrated.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think I read it. I want to read it.
Art Adams art, bro.
That kind of sounds hot.
Yep.
Huh. Oh, I'm kind of intrigued now. All right, I'm going to have to look for that. I went with a relatively recent one, but again, my general theme here was that I thought most, as I was looking through all those that I've read and then a list of others, I thought, wow, I really disliked most of these. So I had to go right back to like, well, which ones have I actually really enjoyed? My favorite was my favorite, which we'll get to, but my underrated was one that I absolutely enjoyed, as did we all. Came out, maybe 2 years ago now at this point. Batman Dylan Dog. Really enjoyed Batman Dylan Dog.
Yeah.
And I like that it's a deeper cut. I don't think it sold particularly well because it's Dylan Dog, a European sort of staple of the detective world. It wasn't like, he's not a hot character in his own right. And Werther Dell'Edera did his damn thing on the art. It was just a fun little mini series that I enjoyed the hell out of and will remember fondly for a long time to come.
It's a good one. Yeah.
Appreciate you.
It's a good one.
All right. What's yours?
You're talking to me. My underrated intercompany crossover is Amalgam. I love it. I thought it was.
I love how you enjoy the connection, the combination of the two companies, but hate all access that kind of leads into it.
Well, there was no baggage.
Right.
Two brothers, Magneto and the Magnetic Man, Speed Demon,
Bullets and bracelets, Doctor Strange face.
Yeah, that thing. There was two waves. There was Spider-Boy. There was the first and second series, Challengers of the Fantastic.
Yes.
Doctor Strange fate.
Yeah.
Thorn of the but the icing on the cake was Lobo as Howard the Duck. That is, but Lobo the Duck is by far my favorite, and I'm not as big a Lobo mark as Dap, but Lobo the Duck is near perfect.
And that's fitting because I am not the
yeah.
Howard Mark you are. So yeah,
Yeah, Malcolm is my underrated.
I love it. I love it. It's the
That's why
biggest comics
he's
publishers in
just
the world. And they're
wrong.
underrated.
He's wrong 3
I'm
times.
right here. I'm right here, by the way. just so you know.
Oh, moving on. My favorite. This one could have been a toss up, but I went with the one that I get the most out of. That I like to. I mean, I like to revisit both of them, but this one just makes me feel some kind of way because there are just so many characters in it, and it was just that perfect time for me with both teams. Even though I may have preferred one over the other, it is Uncanny X-Men: The New Teen Titans,
Yeah, well, yeah, that was that
and it's
that was
pretty
the one
much
I
a
was.
no-brainer.
Yeah, nah, I almost went with that because I thought that was the first thing that came to my mind. But I figured you would. I figured one of you guys would mention it. Good job.
Thank you.
Respect. Yeah, respect. For me, it was between that and probably the one that's arguably the most famous. I guess I don't know if it's the most famous, most well known. I don't know if it's the most successful. I don't know what where it ranks in terms of the pantheon. But JLA Avengers, I absolutely love it.
I figured
Yeah.
someone was going to mention that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I have a beautiful slipcase of it. I think it's George Perez doing what George Perez does best, right? He gets to
Yep.
draw all the characters that he ever drew, like all at once. It was a task that I think few would have wanted to embark upon, and he did a great job. It is by its nature a very simple story, but I think it's a story where, and I know we did a deep dive on this years ago, but it's a story where I think as we went back and revisited it, like it was a situation where they handled the booking, if you're like professional wrestling parlance, with care. Both sides got even billing, right? It was 50-50 booking, but like nobody felt like they got jobbed out. The outcomes, while you may have had a quibble with who wins in each of the individual battles, like I don't think they really did anybody dirty. And it looked great, and it's the thing I'll most remember about Perez, and which is saying something because Perez has obviously had such an incredible career with so many amazing marks on his bibliography. And it's the only crossover I've revisited, I think at least actively. So yeah, so that was mine.
And props to the owner of CrossGen for letting George take the time to work on the mini, because if you worked for CrossGen and you had to move to Florida and you pretty much stayed in the bullpen, that was CrossGen was all you were working on. So the fact that, because I mean there were unpublished, there were penciled pages for years out there because this was always something that Marvel and DC were planning on doing, and George even got started on the story, and then everything always fell through. But for it to finally happen, and for so many people, for so many other creators, for peers of George, and for the fans, for it to finally happen, and for everybody was worried that they would have had to get another artist to draw it because of the cross-gen commitment. The fact that it happened and it happened by George was just it was amazing. I was thrilled that he was actually able to do it and still while at the top of his game. So yeah, it's a great pick, and it was going to end up on this list somewhere.
Yeah, I can't front on that. I think it's a good pick.
All right, there you go.
Yeah. My favorite intercompany crossover is close to being the first intercompany crossover. Yeah, no. It's close. Written by Jerry Conway.
Mm-hmm.
Penciled by Ross Andrew and Vermeer Sr. and Neil Adams have been on Who You Ask. Inked by Dick Giordano, and depending on who you ask, Terry Austin and Bob Wycheck. Is Superman versus the Amazing Spider-Man. I think that the earliness of the publication, they were treading uncharted waters at the time. And I think it stands the test of time as the best intercompany crossover ever written and drawn. The cover is iconic.
Yeah.
The pages are magnificent. It
Especially
was
the
printed
Treasury edition.
oversized,
Yeah.
Treasury edition format. It's Lex Luthor, Doctor Octopus, and two of the arguably greatest heroes in mainstream comics, Superman and Spider-Man. Yeah, of course, it's my favorite.
Can't argue it. I mean,
You can't say the same thing about the sequel.
yeah, I mean, you had the John Buscema art, which wasn't bad, but yeah, I mean, you
Yeah, it
had
was okay.
it was
It was
yeah,
it was good, but it wasn't the
no,
first.
no,
Yeah, that's my answer.
I like it.
All right.
My least favorite is a recent effort by the Big Two. It is the first of these two meeting. It is the weakest of the pairing of the two meeting. It is Deadpool Batman.
Oh, hell yeah.
Good answer.
Hot trash.
The less said, the
Straight
better.
garbage.
Yeah.
Yep. Mine, to me, is like goes down in history as one of the biggest messes in comics history, and that's Deathmate.
Oh my God,
Jesus,
Tony weeps.
there's something wrong with my connection.
I didn't know where to
Wait a minute.
put it on my
Dude,
list.
For those
but-
that don't, for the listeners out there that are a little younger, Deathmate was supposed to be a crossover between Valiant and Image, which should be all kinds of hotness, but it was plagued with massive delays.
It was. Yep.
the Valiant side
Complete-
was good, but yeah,
complete and utter non sequitur because they thought it'd be clever to just have them colored and have there be no specific reading order. But all that served to do is make there be absolutely no coherent narrative.
First appearance of
It
Jet
is
13.
an absolute mess on every level.
Yeah.
And it was a massive financial hit to both publishing companies. It was a disaster, both commercially and creatively. And
See, I love the chaos of it.
well, you love chaos. You
You've
love
got
chaos.
it was folly on Valiant's part because you have
Yeah.
one company it's still kind of a fairly-ish new publisher, but they're always on. They were on point. They were on time. They had their shit together. They knew exactly. They had their things road mapped out across their books. It was amazing to see on the Valiant side, even before the crossover, but just Valiant itself. But then you're going to team up with a publisher that just has they're late more often than they're on time. Nothing is ever. It's just you can't. Why did you think
Yeah.
you'd be just because Jim Shooter
Yeah,
may
I'm
have been
sorry.
one of their bosses at one point? It was oh my God.
Yeah, you are totally correct. You're hamstrung before you even start. If you're going with Image, you're going to be late.
Yeah,
You
you should have had all their shit in. They should have had all their work done before you before you worried about announcing it and publishing it. It should just
And
been
the fact that they switched pages in between didn't do any good for the switch
No, it did
artists. Like chaos, but it's a beautiful chaos.
Sure.
Okay. I think that this is the first and only time we cross over where I am going to give the same answer as Dap. Deadpool Batman stinks. They phoned it in from the get-go. It's like Poppy Capullo. I shouldn't say this, but I will. It's like he did it on the pot. It's terrible, and it has everything that you would think a Deadpool Batman fan would love, but it doesn't work, and it's painful to read. It's horrible to look at. It's just bad. Batman Deadpool, on the other hand, is wonderful, and Morrison kept it in check. I think that's the secret with the Morrison, to keep it. There's still, aren't I so clever? Am I not a wonderful writer? There's still some of that, but for the most part, Morrison keeps it under wraps, whereas in Deadpool Batman, it's just a mess.
yeah.
Yeah.
the backups in the Marvel offering, they weren't all bad, but overall, the complete package on the Batman Deadpool side of things, from the main story to the backups, there was just way more to enjoy on that one.
Yeah, but when your backups are better than your main story, you got a
Yep,
problem.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true. All right, so there we have it. Intercompany crossovers. Vince's overrated was DC versus Marvel. His underrated was Amalgam. Favorite, Superman, Spider-Man. Least favorite, Deadpool, Batman, the first volume, first issue. Dap's overrated, Batman, Spawn. I didn't write the name of the...
War
Batman
War
Spawn.
Devil.
Yeah, War Devil. Underrated, Gen 13, Monkey Man O'Brien, which I did not know existed. Favorite, Teen Titans X-Men, of course, great pick. Least favorite, also much like Vince, Deadpool, Batman. And then my answers: overrated, Amalgam; underrated, Batman, Dylan Dog; favorite, JLA Avengers; and least favorite, Deathmate. So
I'm wondering if recency bias is playing a part in Dap and my answer for least favorite. Because if I read all of the intercompany crossovers, chances are really good that the Deadpool Batman wouldn't factor as highly. But I just read it. It just came out
Right.
within 6 months.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I mean,
quite
because you
possible.
also, I mean,
there's some really bad ones that happened
Well-
over the years.
Yeah, like 1 million. That would probably get my vote for least favorite, but it's not as bad as Deadpool Batman.
we'll save that for when we do OUFL on events or or line wide crossovers.
Right.
I mean, we could.
Right.
There's. I mean, I don't have enough of a memory to think about Archie versus Punisher or even. I mean, you've had the Turtles and the Masters of the Universe. You've had Batman and the Turtles. You've had
Richard
Doctor Who and Legion of Superheroes or Green Lantern. I mean, there's
Star Trek Legion.
yeah, you got Star Trek and the Legion.
You had the DC stuff. Yeah, there's been a million. There's been
Yeah,
tons.
yeah,
There really
yeah.
have been a ton
Porky
of
Pig and
crossovers.
Batman. Yeah,
The Turtles have crossed over with everybody. I mean, transfer. There's been a million.
Yeah,
I mean, really-
Turtles have
Aliens
crossover-
versus Superman, Batman versus Predator.
Yeah.
Yeah, Turtles have crossover with Naruto. Like, who voted for that one?
By the way, not for just since you brought it up, I haven't read it. But as I'm doing the the best of list compilation, there's been a lot of votes for Avengers versus Aliens.
Interesting.
Or Aliens versus
That's-
Avengers. I forget if. And so I'm intrigued because I would think that has to be pretty fucking lit to make best of lists, considering it's
Damn,
obviously
I
a
gotta
licensed
look it up.
cash in.
All right.
So like
Yeah, we should read that.
yeah, I was like, oh, interesting. So
Okay.
whatever, but maybe they got it right. All right, so our last category was OUFL for Avengers, members of the Avengers. This is where I was saying, like, Avengers is, along with X-Men, my favorite comic of all time. I've read pretty much all of it forever. It's been good sometimes, it's been great, it's been bad, but I read it always and always find something to like about it. Except when Jason Aaron did it, but that being said, so this was tough because like I have great love for there are things I can find to enjoy about pretty much every era of the Avengers, which is not to say they're all equal or all great, but like I don't know that I actively dislike or like hate big chunks of Avengers characters or history, but overrated was pretty easy for me. I'm going with that Mark-ass buster, Hank Pym. Hank is a founding member of the Avengers, but I've always thought he was weak sauce. He's always been insecure. He's a wife beater. He created the Avengers, one of their greatest villains, out of small ego. He's got small dick energy.
Yes,
he's got
yes,
small dick
yes,
energy.
small dick energy.
He also, to me, he's had really two power sets, right? Growing large and growing tiny, or shrinking tiny. And I think he was not the coolest version of either of those power sets.
Yeah.
And I don't know. And then, like, the other thing is that he's a genius, but he was never put forth as the smartest in the room. Generally, he's not even been the smartest Avenger most of the time. Like, I think even in the founding members, you could argue that both Tony and Bruce were smarter than him. So I just I don't like. I don't know. He's kind of weak sauce. Like, I think he only holds the place he holds because he was in the first issue as one of the founding members. So so Hank Pym is overrated. So, don't tell me he's your favorite.
No, it's Dap's turn anyway.
No, it's yours.
Stop what?
No,
It's mine?
It's Vince's turn. Yep.
Yeah.
I struggled with 3 characters for overrated.
Okay.
Yeah,
One of them is Hank Pym. I think for all the reasons you gave, I don't understand why Hank is so. Well, it's a misnomer to say popular, but a lot of people like Hank Pym.
Yeah.
And I'm going to break your heart, but I pride myself on my ability to tell the truth. And the other 2 characters are Wonder Man and the Beast.
Stop it. Don't you fucking dare.
Yeah.
How fucking dare you?
The Beast is the criminal, and Wonder Man is just plain boring. And
Holy shit, dude.
I went with Wonder Man.
Oh, okay, that's okay. You're back in the circle of trust.
Yeah.
I mean,
Henry,
it's okay.
Henry is very, very smart. Wonder Man is just plain milquetoast to me. Whenever I see the character, regardless of what he's wearing, he's a clone of the Vision was cloned from Wonder Man's body in the Grim Reaper. It's a convoluted story at best. Over a Wonder Man.
Okay.
All right.
That's whatever. It's Wonder Man. We'll say it's the version that Al Milgrom drew in West Coast Avengers. We're not talking about the Safari Jacket Wonder Man. That was
Okay. Yeah, same thing.
I had a couple as well that I could have tossed up here, but in the end, I just ended up going with only because it's an easy target. But I went with Iron Man.
Yeah. Yep.
Definitely contention for me. Definitely contention for me. Yeah.
I think Dap is right.
Yeah, no, I'm saying he was if Hank Pym didn't exist, Tony would be my pick.
Yeah, I think Tony is over. Marvel Cinematic Universe aside, I think Tony is over it.
Robert Downey Jr. has done wonders for Iron Man because like he's probably one of the most, if not the most popular Avenger like globally, right? Because of that.
Yep.
Yeah. And I think I would encourage these people to pick up some Iron Man comics, and then you'd be like, oh,
right?
Yeah.
It's like, but who else?
Especially both of the Armor Wars. What? They look decent, but they read terrible.
He went to Camelot and fought Doctor Doom, Vince. But you also, but
yeah, I know.
Of all the actors, like if there's one actor who could just is the walking definition of Tony Stark, because Robert Downey Jr. of course overcame addiction and turned his life around and did great things, while Tony Stark, of course, battling addiction and being a colossal fuck up and just and in this case, yes, you had Tony playing the Hank Pym part in Age of Ultron, and he created the Avengers enemy, but still it's I think, I mean, I like Rhodey as Iron Man, but even the drinking aside, like even after that, and he tried to get better, and it just Iron Man works for me in a team setting. It's difficult for me to read Iron Man comics featuring Tony Stark for long periods of time. I might give it a try once or twice, like the Extremis stuff by Ellis. I could read a little bit here and there, but not long term. But in a group, as a team, as being a member of the Avengers, I can tolerate Iron Man because he's surrounded by other characters that I'm enjoying. But yeah, he's just.
Well, that's why he wasn't my pick, because this to me, I really only. all of my answers really only pertain to these characters in their role as Avengers. And so I totally agree with you as a standalone character, no interest. Like, it definitely one of the least interesting to me over the years. But as you just alluded, I if I was being honest, as much as I do think it was a fair pick, I have read literally hundreds, if not approaching 1,000 stories where Tony is part of the Avengers and enjoyed them. So I don't mind him in a team setting. So yeah.
Right.
Doctor Doom would have shut him down in a second. Number one. Number two, the MCU is perfect. Robert Downey Jr. mirrors the character of Tony Stark in so many ways. That the fact that I'm an Iron Man fan because of Robert Downey Jr.
It's wild.
It blows my mind. I never thought I would be a fan of the character, and it's all because of Robert Downey Jr.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
Underrated.
Underrated. So again, I wasn't going to go some super deep cut, because to me it had to be someone that's been in enough Avengers comics that you can make the case that they are underrated, but people still know them, because it's like, I'm not going to pick Silverclaw, you know what I mean, or Rage.
There's two people pumping their fists.
I know. So I went with Carol Danvers, Captain Marvel.
I think she's yeah.
I think she's first of all, I think she's had some cool, she's had multiple visual designs over the years, and I think they're all pretty badass. But she's very powerful. But then I think that I think she is an excellent leader or number two on the Avengers. She's often been the voice of reason and the sounding board, that sort of the counteracting Tony when he's wilding out, or T'Challa when he's wilding out. So I've always enjoyed the Avengers iterations when Carol's been a part of it, and so she's my pick.
T'Challa as an Avenger is like Cyborg as a Justice League member. They do not belong.
I love Black Panther, but he wasn't in consideration for me on any of these categories. I understand he's an Avenger, but I don't.
Yeah, by himself, he's brilliant.
Yeah.
Yep. As an Avenger, no.
Right.
I know what you're saying. I would just counter a little bit with the fact that he was an early Avenger. It's not like he was and I don't even know. We'll see as we go along with the list. I know a lot of people take issue, and you guys may as well, with the whole Bendis, or the Spider-Man, the Wolverine, all that stuff. And I get that. That makes sense to me, because we're talking 50 years of them not being a part of this team, and then suddenly they were. But
right.
Black Panther became a member of the Avengers in issue number 52, right? So to your point, he's I think he's the 10th ever Avenger. So he is a long-standing Avenger, but
Black Panther as an Avenger makes as much sense to me as Luke Cage as Fantastic Four. Translation, it doesn't make any sense. But Luke Cage is a member of
the leader of a country and a sovereign leader.
No, Luke Cage is a member of a duo with Iron Fist, beginning and end of story. But that's what I'm saying.
One of my favorites.
It doesn't. No.
I know Luke Cage is one of my favorite Avengers. All I'm saying, but
yeah,
he's one of my favorite characters. He's definitely not one of my favorite Avengers.
Yeah, well said. Underrated. I don't recall exactly if he became an Avenger, but he was up for membership consideration at one time.
David Letterman.
And I think he is. Should he have been an Avenger, he would have been one of the most powerful Avengers ever.
Triathlon?
And that Rom
was never an Avenger.
Okay, but I think he was slated for.
So he was
on that cover. He was on that cover that they've had to retcon out because of licensing. Listen, but yeah.
It's your world. I'm just living in it. Okay.
Yeah. Rom.
Oh. Okay.
Okay.
It's an underrated. Could have been an Avenger.
Facts.
Okay,
All right.
I mean,
In fact, he's one of the members of my Never Avengers jam.
Yes.
But so I don't disagree with you. I think
It
we would
got to
make great
be a
Avengers.
small list.
At this
It's
point-
not. There's a lot of characters. There are a lot of Avengers. There's well over 120 of them. But yeah. But Rami ain't one of them. All right.
All right.
All right. Yeah.
well, to offset. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, to get back to Carol Danvers, I think she's Sentry level powerful.
Yes.
I think she's ridiculously powerful, and she shouldn't work within the setting of the Avengers, but she does, which speaks a lot to the somewhat convoluted or origin of the character. But yeah, I love Carol Danvers.
Same.
I love that answer.
It's
Nice.
Carol's a situation where anybody who's familiar with her pretty much only from the MCU, it's I was having a discussion. I forget what we were talking about in comics, but I talked about how all the heroes weren't able to put the bad guy down. I forget what we were talking about, and her name was like, well, what? Captain Marvel wasn't around, and I'm like, okay, see, so because she took out Thanos and is able to do everything she could do in the movie, that doesn't, she's not, they don't make her appear to be as powerful in the comic.
Right.
So,
But she did take on the Wrecking Crew. So did Thor. So
yeah, but
did
they
the
beat Thor, which is what he always wants to remind you.
Yeah.
And because of her popularity, because of her multiple series and how she is pretty much the chairperson, it's hard for me to view Carol as underrated, but I can, compared to everything else, and when you put it in context, I can see it.
Yeah.
but-
Even as binary, she was massively powerful.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that binary is a blip on the Carol Danvers. Even as Ms. Marvel, she was incredibly powerful.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good answer.
I am going to offset Vince's overrated, and my underrated is Wonder Man.
Look at that. Now, okay, speak on that because as you know, I like Wonder. I like Beast.
Yeah,
of
no,
Marvel quite a bit, but
I've always, I don't. It was it's all visual. It's based on aesthetics. I dig. It's silly. It's dumb. I do dig the red jacket. I like the safari jacket. I thought the black turtleneck with the sunglasses because of the eyes. I dug the look. And then you had, even though unfortunately it was inked by Coletta, you had that Wonder Man one shot penciled by Kerry Gamble. I loved that. And then you had the series that was then illustrated, penciled by Jeff Johnson, which I enjoyed. But yeah, I thought because he was a normal looking dude compared to the rest of the Avengers. He's not wearing a suit like Cap or he's not a god like Thor. Again, it can be a little convoluted because his brother's the Grim Reaper and he died, and the whole connection with Vision and Wanda, and so. But I dig I am looking forward to the show, but I am just looking, I like the look of it. And unfortunately, yeah, when he went to the West Coast, that outfit was just ugly and just bonkers and stupid. But I just thought the idea of just not as normal as Hawkeye, because Simon actually has powers, but, or at least he's strong. Basically, it was the vibes. I dug the look, so I'm going with Wonder Man.
How could you?
He also and for people like Vince, he gets no love. It's just I get the whole buddy concept, like with Beast, like the Avengers 2.
Yeah.
I dug that miniseries. You've got
How could you get
they're the blue and the
Wanda
gold of the
and not
Avengers,
Jackie?
Vince. They're the Booster Gold and Blue Beetle of the Avengers.
No, they're not. Not even. I would take Booster over Simon and Hank any day.
That's saying something, folks.
I mean, I just need to point out that you picked a non-Avenger as your own. So like,
So one answer eliminates all of my picks.
no, not at all. Not at all. I'm just saying, Avengers clearly isn't your strong suit.
Oh man.
No, you are right there because I have never considered the Avengers a top tier book at Marvel.
I know it hurts my heart, but that's cool. We're gonna get past it. Good thing we've been friends for 20 years. My favorite Avenger, and this was tough. I mean, I love a lot of the Avengers, particularly in the context of the Avengers.
You do.
But after a spirited battle royale where they all fought it out, it was in fact one of the non-powered Avengers which got my nod, and that is Clint Barton, Hawkeye.
No shit.
I love Hawkeye. He has been a centerpiece of the team from the start. He joined the team in issue number 16. He's been there basically forever. Of course, he then was the leader of the West Coast Avengers when they spin off, which was again not a perfect comic, particularly art wise, but a comic that's huge nostalgia for me. I've just always liked him in the role. I think he's when written right, he's always been a nice balance of humor but aptitude. He's a very good leader, and he's been pretty persistent as a leader, right? Although that's not germane to this conversation, he was the leader of the Thunderbolts, and I just think that he's a really good team leader. I dig him. I dig him a lot. And I think really better served because he's quote unquote just a normal dude with trick arrows. Better served in a team. So Hawkeye, Clint Barton is my choice. Somewhere Kevin Quast is shaking his fist with glee right now.
That's right.
Yeah.
This just became his favorite episode ever.
That's right.
Ever.
Vince is gonna say Brandy from Raw.
My favorite, yeah, she was an Avenger. My favorite Avenger, even though I think without this character, it's not an Avengers book.
Okay.
Don't say Jarvis.
No, Captain America.
Nice. Okay.
No, Captain America is my favorite Avenger.
You can't be an Avengers fan and not have Captain America on your short list for favorite Avenger. He is the centerpiece of the book.
Yes.
I don't disagree.
Yep. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Without Captain America, it's not an Avengers title for me.
How many comics is the fourth issue the most valuable issue of a series? Right.
Scott. Right.
Yeah. Avengers number 4, for those of you that don't know or don't care about collecting comics, Avengers number 4 is worth about 40-50 times more than Avengers number 1 because it's the issue when Captain America comes, the first Silver Age appearance of Captain America when he joins the team. And
that's where it starts for me.
Absolutely.
The first three are good,
but
Avengers starts with number 4.
Just like
the
11 o'clock
issue.
comics.
As you guys know, I don't really collect high-end back issues anymore. I haven't for a long time. But the only high-end back issue that I don't own that I would still seriously love to own is that issue. I would love to have that issue. For that.
Yeah, I have Avengers number 2.
Yeah,
and
I have number 1. I mean, I have number 1, but it's not. Again, it's much easier to have than that is a much easier grab than 4.
Yeah, I would trade it in a second for Avengers 4.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I almost went with Cap. He was absolutely in the running, but I went with one character that I've loved almost from the beginning, and then once Walt took over, he rocketed to the top, and that's Thor is absolutely one of my favorite Avengers, and that's the one I went with.
Respect. Another fixture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, can't argue that.
Well, you can, but
no, I love Thor. I would also. I think for me, the thing about Thor is that he's also been great as a standalone. He's had some great ones.
I think he's better as a standalone character because he's a god.
He is the god,
or approaching god.
No, well, he very much is a god. Yeah.
I would read Thor alone infinitely more often than Thor as a Avenger. But Thor's a good pick.
The Avengers don't really
he's
need.
great.
They don't need Thor as much as they do maybe the other characters. I mean,
Yeah.
not that Thor doesn't serve a purpose when he's there, but he is. You have other characters
Yeah, I mean, he's
that are
their
very
tank.
similar.
He's their most important tank, like
Yeah.
the most important historical tank. And
Yeah, see, this is my problem with the Avengers and Justice League. The threat has to be commensurate with the force opposing it.
yes,
And a lot of the times, the threat is not like they'll dumb down the characters because we haven't used arcade in a while. We
right.
yeah.
It's like Grey Gargoyle. It's like, oh, let me put the Norse god pocket for a second.
Yeah.
Way to do that can turn people into statues. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm with you, but that kind of gets back to what I was saying about Superman. Like when you start having gods lined up again with literal human beings, it's tough, right? It's tough. Like I love Black Widow, I love Hawkeye, but like I mean, I mean they're just humans. Like I know they're badasses, but like
That's why Byrne was so smart to depower Clark a bit when he took over the character.
Yeah.
Because the Superman was massively powerful, and
Plan.
writing him was difficult. Yeah,
Yes.
it was too hard.
For sure.
Yeah,
All right, so least favorite Avenger. So listen, I mean, I think a lot of people listening at home are probably going to rattle somebody from Bendis's run, making the case that they like the character, but they don't understand why they had to be an Avenger, and I totally think it's valid. And this may be the road you guys go down too, and I totally think that's a valid approach. For me, there are runs of Avengers where I thought were kind of corny, and I didn't like want to pick a character from that because it's like they weren't long enough in the tooth, right? Like for example, like I'm not going to pick Living Lightning or Sandman because like they just weren't members for long. Like we remember that they were members because it was a kitschy sort of moment, but it wasn't like they were members for 20, for 30, 40 issues and years, and it was like, oh, what were they doing there? So I went with someone who was a member for a long time, and it was part of a group that I enjoyed, generally speaking, but I thought this character was corny, and that was Gilgamesh, the Forgotten One.
Nice. That's a good one.
Yeah, good pick.
He joined in issue number 300 along with Reed and Sue, and then shortly thereafter, U.S. Agent. And I enjoyed that era. That was the leather jacket era. I liked it in part because it was such a weird team, and I thought that was fun. But I think that for my money, I mean, Gilgamesh literally his character was that he had no personality. Like he was the Forgotten One. He didn't talk. He just stood around and he was strong. So he was like Hercules or Thor without the personality,
Right.
And what made those guys great characters is they had huge personalities. They were the life of the party. So to me, Gilgamesh was like just a boring tank. He was basically, well, he wasn't basically. He was a god and immortal and all powerful, but had no personality at all, and just basically did what was needed to win the battle. So boring as shit to me. Terrible design too. I mean, it was just basically a dude in a white wrestling trunks. It was it felt like a phoned in idea from start to finish. So yeah. So Forgotten One. I hope you stay forgotten, dog.
Good pick. A really good pick. Yeah. I was gonna go with U.S. Agent.
Sure.
Main cap. Oh, sign me up. But I took a step back and thought about it for a while, and my least favorite Avenger is Spider-Man.
Yeah, I figured it was one of those era. Yeah.
I don't think Spider-Man should be an Avenger.
Sure.
An Avenger. He works well as a solo character. Leave him alone. But they put Spider-Man in, Bendis did, because he sold books. Yeah. I'm not going to embellish it any more than that. Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. Wolverine was one that was in my least favorite camp.
Yeah.
But again, that's low hanging fruit. That's recent. It was just Bendis wanted to write him in the group, so that's what it was. And once Bendis was gone, even before Bendis was gone, I think Wolverine was out of the group. So I ended up going with the one that I would always say, even before Bendis wrote the team, and that's Dr. Druid. I don't need Winchester in my Avengers. It's just it's why is this dude who he looks more like an enemy. He looks more like a villain that the Avengers would have to take on and easily
He
beat.
looks more like a
Diablo.
janitor. Yeah.
Right. It's he looks like the guy who took over after Burns left MASH. It's just I don't need someone who looks like that. He's not in shape. He's got his cloak on as if that's hiding anything. He's wearing the all red. It looks like a one seat. It looks like pajamas with the butt flap. I don't understand the character's look. I don't understand what he brought to the table.
Yeah.
It was you see all these imposing characters. I mean, I almost thought about Hercules, but there's still Dr. Druid in your team. So
Hercules is great.
Hercules drinks.
Hercules drinks, but you got Thor. You got Thor already. You don't. But anyway,
Hercules is great. He's the stand-in for Thor. He's great.
I know.
He's a stand-in for
listen,
Thor.
I enjoyed those Bob Layton miniseries. I like Wolverine. I like Hercules. It's fun to poke at him, but no, but when you see everybody, whether it's Black Knight, whether it's Crystal, whether it's all of the other Avengers, leather jackets or no. And then here's Dr. Druid. It's like, what are you going to do? How is this the one guy who's going to, no. So yeah, absolutely.
I think it's a solid pick. Yeah. Hercules works better at like Thor as a solo character.
Yeah.
But having him into the Avengers when Thor's not there makes sense. It does.
Yeah, I'll go along with
It
that.
makes
That's
really
fine.
good sense. But your pick is chef's kiss. Yeah. No,
I can't believe Vince didn't pick Storm. Probably because you forgot that Storm wasn't.
Yeah.
No, I remember it. She is powerful. Yeah.
But at least she's on another team. At least she's part of a team, so you're used to seeing her in a group setting. Spider-Man is a loner.
Yeah, he's a loner.
The Bendis stuff to me, though, the one that I struggled with the most was Daredevil. Like,
Yes.
I didn't,
Yes.
for the same reasons you said about Spider-Man, but like at least Spider-Man is like from a character perspective, he's gregarious, right?
fun
He
to be
always
around.
wants
Needs money.
friends.
Yeah.
He needs money. Daredevil's a fucking loner, racked with guilt. He's
a downer.
Yeah, he's just a bummer.
It's
sitting
amazing.
around drinking coffee, playing Parcheesi's not his vibe. You know?
Yeah. It's
yeah.
amazing to me how many origin stories are based on guilt.
For sure. Yeah. For sure.
Peter Parker, Uncle Ben, Bruce Wayne, Mom and Dad.
Oh yeah.
The laundry list goes on forever.
Yep.
It's crazy. Devil would never be an Avenger.
Yeah. Nah, he definitely was my least favorite of that bunch. I mean, we've talked about this before. I didn't mind that. In fact, I would say I enjoyed most of the Bendis' run. I thought it was an interesting, it was weird all those years that those characters weren't Avengers, which was Bendis' point, right? Because obviously with DC it was totally different. Like DC's A-list characters were Justice Leaguers, pretty much coincident with them existing, for the most part. And it's like, but I also totally am open-minded to the other side of it. Like I get why it would bother people.
Yeah.
So
I would say Bendis did more harm than good.
see, I think that's taking it too far.
I think,
I don't agree with that.
yeah, I agree with it. I kind of said it.
Yeah, there you go.
She-Hulk ripping the Vision apart. He's a machine. He could port into a radio.
Yeah. Well,
Like it's not a threat. It's an inflated bit of writing that doesn't make sense. And I think a lot of the Bendis run is like that. It's inflated to the point where he had a name. It made sense to put him on the book because he sold copies. But to me, it wasn't a fun read. I
I
didn't
enjoy. I
like
mean,
the entire time.
and I think that Luke Cage was a great. I mean, to me, Luke Cage is a great Avenger. He's pretty much been an Avenger ever since. I thought of all of the non-Avengers that he brought into the team, I thought Doctor Strange made a ton of sense. Like it's weird that he was never an Avenger. So I like
Yeah,
that. I
it
like
did.
Jessica Jones being an Avenger. Yeah, I don't know. Like again, like we don't have to relitigate this run. But to me, I thought it was largely entertaining. I'm probably with Dap. Like the one I think outside of Daredevil that I think would made the least sense was Wolverine, just because Wolverine's a killer, you know.
Yeah.
And
Cap
like
would never allow him on
Well,
the
and I
team.
said
Yeah,
that. I mean,
you know.
that's why I had a problem with him, like teaching the school, eating all these kids. But that's, it, I mean, they were.
Yeah, but
Wow.
we should think yourself that they were fighting a war. Like that was like they were
Yeah.
training. That,
Yeah.
you know. But yeah.
When
Um,
one of your students is Kid Omega,
Yeah.
it makes sense.
You're right. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so to recap our Avengers, Vince's overrated was Wonder Man, underrated because he got a chance to be on the team was Rom. His favorite was Captain America, and his least favorite was Spider-Man. Not Spider-Man as a character, but Spider-Man in the role of an Avenger. Dap's overrated was Iron Man, underrated was Wonder Man. He and Vince are going to duel in the streets after this to decide who's right.
Not me so pretty.
His favorite is Thor, and his least favorite, low hanging fruit. He went low when we all went high with Doctor Druid, and and my overrated was Hank Pym. Underrated was Carol Danvers, aka Binary, aka Captain Marvel. Favorite was Hawkeye, and least favorite was Gilgamesh. So yeah, so there you go. So there you have it. There's our OUFLs for for
fun.
December. Yes,
That was
well
a
done,
blast.
everybody.
Yes.
Well
Yeah,
done.
it was. It was a good pick. Good topic.
Today was a good day.
Yeah. We resorted to tapping the mic and whistling.
I mean,
It's like our first time.
anytime you can, bring up the
Whistle's
Ghetto Boys, it's
cute.
like worth doing. I mean,
Yeah,
know?
I guess you're right.
rest in peace, Bushwick Bill. I mean,
Yeah.
That little,
You know, you're
that-
getting old when you start seeing the people you love die out before you.
bro, all of them, they're all dying, dude.
I
think
know.
It's crazy.
I did. It's one of the reasons why I don't check the news as diligently as I used to. Like, who would think me dead would
I know.
get killed? But
Yeah, super sad. I mean, shout. Nevertheless, I mean, rest in peace and all love and good karma to Rob Reiner and his wife. Obviously, who
yeah.
were
Raising the glass.
tragically murdered by their what looks like to be. Well, I mean, again, I guess innocent until proven guilty, but it looks like their son has been arrested for the murders, which is even more tragic. Needless to say,
Yeah.
for the rest of the family. So,
It's one of the few people who had a massive impact on my early life, as well as Carol O'Connor and
Sure.
Gene Stapleton. Me dad, he was on every week, and I watched him, and I would not be the same person I am today if it wasn't for Rob Reiner.
and it's been talked about before, but the fact that Archie was 46 and Edith was 44 at the start of that show is just
Well,
mind-boggling. It's absolutely mind-boggling.
They
really-
did a little bit of makeup on both of them because
Oh,
Gene,
right. No, but I'm saying like to think that that's what the world thought people in their mid 40s were like.
right,
It's
and he was
crazy.
racist as hell.
Oh, crazy racist, yeah.
Yeah,
An absolute sweetheart
yeah.
in real life.
yeah.
For sure.
I mean,
One of the
yeah,
all-time great Norman Lear, one of the all-time great storytellers.
Yeah, I agree.
yeah. And I mean, and so many. I mean, when you think about the movies that, I mean, while I know a lot of people were talking about over the past 2 days how they may not have always been commercial hits, but you think about any of Reiner's movies, and you instantly are transported back to when you saw those movies. They bring a smile to your face. Misery is still one of, if not the best, Stephen King adaptation. You've got, I mean, Stand By Me, The Sleepless, yes, well, When Harry Met Sally is one of my, I saw that multiple times in the theater. I just, it's,
Princess Bride, Few Good Men.
Yeah, oh my God, The Princess Bride. I just, he has been.
I mean, Spinal Tap, needless to say, and that's, I mean, he was obviously marketing, he was in the process of marketing the sequel. The first sequel he ever made, by the way, which is interesting. Yeah, I mean, I don't think he I mean, let me put it this way. Of the movies, of Reiner's movies I've seen, I don't think he had a flop. Now, I admittedly have not seen all of his films. I haven't seen Emma, I haven't seen God Country. There's probably a few others I haven't seen, but an incredible career, and a righteous dude who was on the right side of things. And I'll leave it at that. Like he was on the right side of the ledger. Well, no pun intended. He was on the correct side of the ledger.
Yeah, that's right.
I would put Spinal Tap number one.
Yeah, and it's his first. That was his first. He was that was 1984. That was
right out of the gate.
He was pretty much, he was an actor that some people were like, wait a minute, Meathead's making a movie? Like it was like
He got it right the first time.
It's pretty interesting, right? Like they both were like fixtures of massive like all-time great sitcoms, and then they parlayed themselves into far more accomplished careers as directors.
Yep. Even The Jeffersons starts off good and gets hokey, but it still was good, and still made you think. It was incredible. I am not talking about Rob Reiner here. I'm talking about Norman Lear. But it's just heartbreaking.
Yeah,
it really is.
Norman Lear died at 101 years old, man.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So rest in peace, Rob Reiner and his wife. I mean, it's
and his wife is two people. So I get to do any of your travels.
That's right.
Let's hear it.
I have a love. I guess hate is too extreme a word, but I have a love not completely sold on the books relationship with these two magazines. I love, and I'm going to be as pretentious as possible because that's me. Metal Hurlant, I love. The editor-in-chief, let me get it, is Fabrice Giger. This is the third issue, and it is a monster within issue where most of the all of the writers on largest focus on something inside, something deadly, something monstrous. Everybody loves the list, but I'm not going to read it. Dirf Backturf is in here. Anki Bilo. When I think of Metal Hurlant, I think of Mobius, and Mobius is in there. But it's also an issue with Matthew Alton and some guy. Did a story. Matthew did most of the heavy lifting. Almost all of it. I love Metal Hurlant. It's this close to being perfect. There's not a story that goes by that I skip over.
Mm-hmm.
It's something we all do, but there's every story within the page of it's called let's call it a trade, just deserves to be there. And that's saying something when you're talking middle or launch. Um, the pedigree of this uh, magazine is incredible. And not so with the third issue of Heavy Metal. I think the legacy numbering is 323. I think editor in chief Frank Forte is doing a good job, but for Heavy Metal, I don't think a good job is cutting it. I think you either do a great job or you hand the baton off to somebody who can do a great job. And I think more often than not, I find myself skipping stories. That's a problem with heavy metal. It's skipping a story. It shouldn't be. There should be. They should deserve to be within the pages, or they. It's okay to say no. And I get the opinion, or I get the feeling that editor in chief Frank Forte doesn't say no often enough. Yeah. For every strip, like the last 6L by Janevsky and edits by Dave Kelly. For every strip that there appears like that, there's tons that don't deserve to be in the magazine. Like Shintaro Kago, by all means, fling the door open wide. But I would argue that heavy metal takes a very mainstream approach to comic book booking, where this is really exciting, boobs, blood, we're done. Where Metal Hurlant takes a very ultra, a very specialized approach to comic booking. And that's the difference between the two of them. One of them is for granite people, and one of them is for people who like to look at boobs. Gwen and Vigil, they don't belong in heavy metal. I love both of them, but they don't belong in heavy metal. It's just a fact of my life, where, like I said, I love one. I can kind of sort of tolerate the other one, and
Right.
I'm too old to kind of sort of tolerate the magazine. So I'm almost done with heavy metal. Where Metal Hurlant, I will buy, if it stays this good, I will buy the duration of it. So there you go. There's my URLs. Pick up Metal Hurlant and leaf through heavy metal and see if you like it.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. I am just going to mention real quick that the past few issues of Amazing Spider-Man with Peter Parker in space has been a blast, because for the most part, the art is by Pepe Larraz. There was one issue which still looked great. It was similar to Pepe's work, but it was the guest artist was Emilio Leosso, and basically the idea is that Peter was shunted into space after his battle with Hellgate, And while that's going on, Spider-Man, though, is still out and about, swinging around New York, but it's not Peter Parker. I gave it away a few episodes back, and there is still in air quotes, Peter Parker still working at Rand Industries. That Peter Parker is Ben Reilly, and I think Ben is feeling some sort of way now because Peter's about to get credit for this work he's doing with his old BFF Brian, and because of obviously Peter's name's going to be attached to it, even though Ben finished the work, that's going to be that might cause some contention. But the Spider-Man swinging around, now that it's been a few issues since it's been revealed, is Norman Osborn, and he's trying to do the best he can, live up to Peter's legacy, try to do what basically, what would Peter do in certain situations. But the rest of the Spider family, Miles, Gwen, Silk, they're not feeling his motives. So while the Earth stuff and is penciled and inked by Romita Jr. and John Romita Jr. and Scott Hanna, it's fine. It moves things along. I'm really excited about the space stuff, and the space stuff also includes Rocket and there's some new characters like Raylith the Wretched. There's this little symbiote imp running around. They call him Simbi, because I'm sure that's not derogatory. But you've just got the art is great. Obviously, I mean that's redundant because if Larraz is drawing it, but the whole idea. Before, Peter isn't necessarily scared to come home because he'll have to face Hellgate, but he's still hanging out in space because the person who found him, a Dr. Xanto Starblood, Xanto Starblood is a scientist who found Peter and is working with Peter to build up his strength, possibly give him a new suit, anything that will allow him to defeat Hellgate. And unfortunately, Peter finds out that Starblood was keeping prisoners on the ship and basically using them for scientific purposes and experiments. And so Peter put a stop to that and rescued everybody. And of course, Rocket and the group is like, well, let's just kill Starblood because, he was mean to us. And Peter's like, well, we don't do that. So he's Starblood's with the band, with the group, hanging out, but no one really still trusts him. And I think at any moment he'll probably do whatever he can to get rid of everybody. But so far he's playing on the side of the Angels. But in the most recent issue, events happened that caused Peter to really want to head home and face things. So it looks like we'll be getting a culmination of things soon. I don't know if that'll happen with the anniversary 25th issue or anything like that, but Kelly's been doing a great job. I'm enjoying the stories. I think it's a wild concept to have your main character somewhere else and others filling in for him, but I think he's handling it well. Again, I know it's Romita Jr., which isn't it's not as it's fine, but again, when every other issue is Pepe, it's just it's like, oh yeah, I got to get through this issue so I can get Pepe again. But yeah, I'm still, for me right now, I'm enjoying it because of Kelly. I'm really enjoying the story he's telling. This is one of those situations where it really probably wouldn't matter who was drawing it. The story is enough. What Joe is doing is enough to want me to keep chugging along. So it's not, and it's not. Listen, it's not Kodransky. So I'm gonna catch my wins where I can. So yeah, in your travels, if you haven't been, check out Amazing Spider-Man. It's been a wild ride. It's hard. I even with like the most recent issue, which is probably like 17 or something. Like it boggles my mind that I've been enjoying it, and it's been it's pretty much been consistent since he started, and it's been one long story pretty much, because the series started with him, Peter, trying to find a job, and he gets back in touch with his old friend from like fucking middle school, and it's been continuing that. So the fact that Kelly's been keeping it going with the consistency is I'm gonna give him props where I can. So yeah, in your travels, the current Amazing Spider-Man.
It's funny. Two things. One, remember when artists would do an entire year?
Oh yes, yes I do.
That was fun. Yes,
those were the days, man.
Number two, it sounded good to me. The Norman Osborn stuff aside, it sounds good to me because it's not relying on established bad people to sell books. I think DC and Marvel should have a moratorium. No Darkseid or Lex Luthor or Doc Ock or for
Dr. Doom.
Doc. Well, yeah, but a fast chance of that happening with Don Jr. playing him in the part.
Yeah.
They should have a moratorium at least for a year. If Marvel and DC came out and said, you know what, we're not going to use Darkseid for a year, I would be over the moon, because it forces the writers to come up with, number one, new characters. Number two, bad guys we sort of kind of haven't seen for a while, which it just fosters good writing, different writing than, oh, it's Darkseid again, or it's Lex Luthor again, yay. I want something different.
Right.
And the main DC is sort of kind of getting into that rut, but Marvel has been in that rut forever. And I'm tired of the Lex Luthors. With Doctor Doom, no. Let's see somebody different. Let's see somebody new.
Here.
That's not no. Yeah.
Yes.
No lies detected.
I'm tired of no.
Bro, null and void, you know what I'm saying? Like, I am null. Done with the null. All right, so in your travels, I have an OGN for... it's from Abrams, written by someone who's really done a great job both doing their own stories and doing plenty of cool stuff at DC, Mariko Tamaki, with art by Nicole. I believe her last name is Gou. It's Gous, so I may be saying it wrong. If I am, I apologize. But I assume, given that it's French, it's Gou. The book's called "This Place Kills Me." It is it's a murder mystery. It's effectively their take on a Nancy Drew style murder mystery that is set in the early 90s. So it's high school in the early 90s, which that's me. I was in high school in the early 90s. Unlike my experience, this book takes place in an all-girls Christian academy, which is the backdrop for a lot of people do as I say, not as I do. Vibe, very holier than thou. Backdrop is to everything they're supposedly not allowed to do, but in fact most of them are doing it anyway, like drugs and drinking and having sex. And the centerpiece of this story revolves around a young woman named Abby who had just transferred to the school, and she's not duck. No one accepts her because she's the new kid and she's a little quirky, and she's trying to find her place. And lo and behold, one of the popular girls appears to commit suicide out in the woods near the school. But again, I don't think I'm spoiling anything by saying it turns out to be a murder. And Abby and her roommate end up, becoming sort of the lead investigators, trying to figure out what happened. And the book was really well paced, and I think like any good whodunit, there were some legit twists and turns where at the end, when it all comes together, it feels very satisfying and makes sense based on what you read. But there were definitely some zigging and zagging, such that I don't think you don't see the outcome coming, or at least I didn't. So that's really what I want to see from a murder mystery. So yeah, fun stuff, and like just a super fast read. It's like almost 300-page book, but it really sucks you in like any good detective story should. So really enjoyed it. One of the surprise hits for me of the last few weeks. So yeah, in your travels, check it out if you like murder mysteries. This Place Kills Me by Tamaki Ngu.
Both of your choices sound good.
Not our first go around. We're pretty good at this by now. We know what we're doing.
I guess I should say it.
What?
Go ahead.
Say goodnight. Yeah.
Yeah.
Say goodnight. And pick up a trade or two for cheapgraphicnovels.com.
Yes, that's true.
Cheapgraphicnovels.com.
Specials from Cheap Graphic Novels this week include Batman and Robin Year 1, hardcover for $23.99, trade paperback for $17.99. The early years of Batman and Robin were anything but smooth sailing. Join fan-favorite creative duo Mark Waid and Chris Somney as they explore the first year of Bruce Wayne and Dick Grayson's partnership, both as a newly minted father and son in the eyes of the public, and as the crime-fighting Batman and Robin to the criminal underworld of Gotham City. Dick may be capable and enthusiastic, but does he have what it takes to stand up against the deadliest costume villains the city has to offer? And Batman may be prepared for anything, but he's prepared to be responsible for the life and safety of a teenage sidekick, collecting Batman and Robin Year 1, numbers 1 through 12. Frazetta Gallery Series Warriors Volume 1, hardcover for $41.21, trade paperback for $26.21. The Frazetta Gallery Series is a curated collection of books that highlight the diverse themes in Frazetta's work, showcasing his exceptional versatility, power, and emotional intensity. The book series is a fresh, new approach to presenting the work of the most important fantasy artist of the 20th century. The second book in the series, Warriors, features some of Frazetta's most iconic pieces. As Frankie Frazetta writes in his introduction to Warriors, these are the gritty, iconic pieces that introduce so many of us to his art for the first time. Warriors has more pages for more barbarians, monsters, and damsels. These books feature some of the most finest printing of Frazetta art ever seen. Forward by Simon Bisley, appreciations by Liam Sharp, Jim Zug, Lance Laspina, Jesse Kowalski, and more. Oversized book, 11 1/4 by 15 inches. Paintings easily removable for framing. And finally, Human Target by Tom King and Greg Smallwood, the deluxe edition hardcover for $29.99. Christopher Chance makes a living putting his life in the crosshairs to protect his clients, but this time, his luck may have finally run out. In his latest assignment posing as Lex Luthor, someone has successfully poisoned Luthor, and there is no antidote. With only 12 days to live, Chance decides he will not go quietly into the night. He is going to find out who wants Luthor dead so badly by following every lead and questioning every suspect, whether they're an arrogant space cop or an elemental femme fatale. Told in the style of a noir whodunit, The Human Target showcases why writer Tom King and artist Greg Smallwood are two of comics' most in-demand talents. This deluxe edition features a new cover by Smallwood, an introduction by King, and a making-of section that reveals how this comics masterpiece was brought to life. Collects The Human Target numbers 1 through 12 and Tales of the Human Target number 1.
David.
Good night. I'm not going to do the sponsors part.
They should be buying for cheap graphic.
Yes.
Damn straight.
David.
Yay! I made through a whole episode.
Yeah, you
You
did.
did.
Now Jason won't be all salty. Jason was feeling some kind of way.
well,
you were here for the whole episode before Thanksgiving. Jason comes back and you're nowhere to be found.
Sad. Every week I think, oh, my boo's going to be on the show. We're going to get talk, and then it's like we record too late. That's why I said let's record earlier. What the fuck?
Yes.
I think that's what to do.
Well, it's the fact that you were returning for vacation energized me a bit, but I just couldn't stay up. The Benadryl.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But like that's the thing. I mean, well, first of all, especially at least for now. I mean, Dap's done work for the next few weeks. I mean, most of the time, especially have it scheduled in advance, there's no reason I can't record at 7 or 8 versus 9. I mean, it's not like I'm...
Eight's good.
All right,
8
cool.
is really nice.
Great.
Well, we're going to have
Because
to
it's only
record
10
earlier
o'clock.
in the week anyway, because next Thursday is Christmas, so I know we're not recording that night.
Oh, yeah, true.
Yeah.
So we'll have to record earlier in the week.
So we should probably do Tuesday again, 23rd, because 24th I'm always busy as well. I got family dinner
Okay.
and stuff. So
All right.
Tune in when
Oh,
we all.
I wanted to wish everybody a happy Hanukkah. Fuck.
You still can?
Wow. You don't have to get a pig mouth.
Well, yeah, I mean we're done. I assume we're done recording. But if you're not,
No.
if you're gonna leave all this in, happy Hanukkah to all of our friends, MOT, DAP included. These sort of MOT light, but I mean, DAP, you're not lighting the menorah, but much love to you nevertheless.
Oh, because I don't have any candles. The menorah's still downstairs. I can still say
There
the
you
prayer.
go.
That's it for that one.